First question is from Grimners. He says, okay, can you explain so I can understand the difference when to use the words JANAI and KUNAI? Mixing them up a lot, and I can't find explanation enough on them. All right. I'm going to tell you the 2 lessons on Yes Japan where these are explained. One is in lesson 5 of course 1. And the other lesson is probably lesson 4. It's all covered in course 1. This is basic Japanese, but let's go through it. All right. First of all, so JANAI and KUNAI. JANAI is a word that can stand by itself, even though it's not really a word. You can use it all by itself. KUNAI can never be by itself. That's something you need to remember. KUNAI is a part of a word. JANAI makes a word negative. It's like saying not. So for example, if I'm having a conversation and someone says, 今日は火曜日ですか? I could theoretically, I like to say that. That's always my cop-out. I could say, JANAI. I could just say, JANAI. Not. It's not correct Japanese. It won't be taught in a book like that. But in everyday Japanese, you'll hear it. All right? So, when do you use JANAI versus KUNAI? I'm going to give you the answer right now. One simple, quick answer, and then we'll go through the longer answer. KUNAI is used to make adjectives negative. That's it. That's the easiest answer. JANAI is used to make nouns and adjectives negative. Now let's talk about what that means. What's an adjective? It's almost every adjective that ends in E. Because there are a few that end in E that are just things you have to remember. For example, samui, atsui, I read that in the wrong order, sorry. Atsui, hot. Samui, yasu, where did the E go? I went down to the next line, sorry about that. Yasui, cheap. Takai, expensive. Yasashi, kind. These are all E adjectives. And the way you use KUNAI is you drop the final E of the E adjective and you add KUNAI. And that makes it not that thing. Atsui, it's hot. Atsukunai, it's not hot. Samui, it's cold. Samukunai, it's not cold. Yasui, it's cheap. Yasukunai, it's not cheap. Takai, it's expensive. Takakunai, it's not expensive. You cannot say takai janai ever. You cannot say atsui janai ever. You can't use janai with an E adjective. That is the rule. You can also use KUNAI with verbs. There's one verb form that uses KUNAI. It's the tai form, which is the want to do form. For example, ikitai, want to go. Tabetai, want to eat. Kaeritai, want to return. Mitai, want to see. It's the same rule. You drop the E, you add KUNAI. Tabetai, want to eat. Tabetakunai, don't want to eat. Kaeritai, want to return home. Kaeritakunai, don't want to go home. Mitai, want to see it. Mitakunai, don't want to see it. You can never say mitai janai. Unless, there's always a Trombley, man. Try to make this easy. Let me think about this. I'm not even going to give you. There is a way to use janai, but it wouldn't make it not. There's a way to use. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. Ignore it. Ignore it if it confuses you. But mitai janai, that means don't they want to see it? That's all it means. It doesn't mean not want to see. Kaeritai janai, kaeritain janai. You probably hear that more. Kaeritain janai with an una on the end there. Kaeritain janai, don't they want to go home maybe? What's wrong with Jessica? She seems sad. Kaeritain janai? Maybe she wants to go home. Does she want to go home? That's what that means. I should have resisted. That might confuse you. All right. Now let's talk about when to use. So right now we've only talked about KUNAI, and I said you couldn't use janai except for that one weird thing. Now we're going to talk about janai. When do you use janai? Use janai with na adjectives and nouns. For example, kirei. I put kirei in here always. It's always an example when I do na adjectives. A na adjective is an adjective that requires a na to make it into an adjective. If you just say kirei, it means pretty. If you want to say a pretty person, kirei na hito. Hito, right? hito. You have to have the na, okay? That is the rule. But if you want to say it's not pretty, kirei, and by the way, I always use kirei because it ends in e, but it's not an e adjective, okay? So kirei janai, it's not pretty. Benri, convenient. Benri janai, not convenient. Shinsetsu, kind. Another way to say kind, right? Yasashi is also a kind, but yasashi is an e adjective, so you'd say yasashiku nai for not kind. But this is a na adjective. Shinsetsu, so it's shinsetsu janai, not. And kuro, black. Kuro janai, aka, red. Aka janai. Now, I added colors there on purpose because 6 of the colors have e adjective forms. Akai, shiroi, kuroi, kiroi, chairoi. Oh, there's one more. Oh. Shiroi, kuroi, akai, aoi, chairoi, kiroi. Those are the only 6 colors, only, that have the ability to be an e adjective, that are e adjectives. In those cases, you say kurokunai, not black. This is the one weird case, right, where you could say kurojanai or kurokunai and they mean the same thing. They both mean not black, all right? Then, in Japanese, ski and kirai happen to be adjectives. They are not adjectives. So when you want to say you don't like something, you say ski janai, ski janai. And when you don't dislike something, kirai janai. That's how it's used. If you're confused, watch it again. Maybe the second time around will be better.